At least once a week, Patricia Lopez comes right up to the Mexican side of the fence to meet with her daughter Lana, who lives in the U.S. without immigration papers. Lana's children are filled with joy when they see her, and so is her mother. But their visits are always far too brief, and the rusty metal fence that separates them always leaves her with a deep sense of melancholy.
We are so close to each other and at the same time so far away. We can only touch each other with our fingertips, but that touches our hearts.
This is one of the few places along the U.S.-Mexico border where a fence separates people from both sides. That facilitates conversations like these, people talking to each other right through the barrier. But in many other places along this 3,000-kilometer border, towering walls and land barriers have been built to prevent undocumented immigrants from entering the U.S., and Border Patrol agents are always present. Mexicans make up a large proportion of the 11.2 million unauthorized immigrants living in the U.S. Many never dare go back to Mexico. They fear that would make their return to the U.S. nearly impossible. This is the most frequently crossed international border in the world. High levels of security often slow border commerce to a halt. Even Mexicans with visas also experience long delays. In the lead up to next year's U.S. presidential election, a few hardline Republicans have been softening their tone when it comes to border security and even illegal immigration from Mexico. But for Rosario and her husband, Sebastian, that's only rhetoric. Every week she waits here for her husband, who's been working in the U.S. without immigration documents. He comes to the fence and hands her his bank deposit slips.
Many times I feel lots of frustration because I can't even touch his hand, and being separated from each other is terrible.
Still, Sebastian says these brief encounters really make a difference in his life.
It means everything to me because she's my wife.
They make plans to meet again soon here at the International Divide. This woman and her son have come to see her husband, the boy's father. He's also working in the U.S. without documents. They share a meal of hamburgers and cold drinks right through the fence. When they finish, they pray together before going their separate ways. Franc Contreras, Al Jazeera, at the border city of Mexicali.